I'm looking forward to sharing some information with you. First and foremost, how many of you have heard of ActiveCampaign? Anybody out there familiar? Yeah, we've got a few hands. That's great. Awesome. Well, really happy to be here with all of you. Oh, where's the clicker? I'm sorry, I don't think it's up here. Okay. Got it. Thank you. And so yesterday during one of the presentations, the presenter said, save the champagne until you have happy customers. And I thought that was really cool. And so really the sort of crux of this presentation is about how we help our partners go out and get customers and go to market with ActiveCampaign as a primary part of their solution or their offering. And so that's what we're going to spend some time on today. And first of all, I appreciate the introduction. Thank you. My name's Adam. I'm really happy to be here. I just, on the record, would like to thank Sunir and everybody involved with putting on this show for having us and for facilitating this. It's been a really fun couple days. Made a lot of great connections, and I really appreciate all of you spending a few minutes with me. So. ActiveCampaign, we're helping over 70,000 small businesses connect with their customers. And we do so by providing several different tools to help them do that, including marketing automation and a conversations tool, which we just launched, along with a CRM capability within our platform. And so this is really exciting. And the primary thing that we want to try to help them accomplish is to deliver great experiences to their customers. So relevant, timely communication, not over messaging, making sure that you send the right message at the right time. And partners are a big part of how we go to market. So we, about just over 35% of our revenue comes from indirect channels. And so this is a big part of our strategy. And we try to make it really easy to work with ActiveCampaign. So we have partner programs that are just available. Like today, you could go sign up and be an affiliate for ActiveCampaign, or you could sign up to be a reseller of ActiveCampaign. We make it available to white label our solution as well. And so we've actually, I met someone last night at the event. I won't mention their name because they're actually white labeling ActiveCampaign as a part of their solution. And they've built in our marketing automation capability as an upsell feature within their product. So they've actually created a second tier of their product offering using ActiveCampaign as the feature set to make that available, which is really exciting. And I think it's cool. It was really funny to just kind of randomly meet somebody at the event last night and find out that we were doing business together. I thought that was pretty cool. We also have great API documentation available to make that pretty accessible. And we're starting to get more into strategic partnerships to do more custom arrangements aside from the things that are just generally available through our partner programs. And so to understand kind of why the tools that we are offering our partners and resources we're offering are really important, I want to just make sure that we all kind of align on what our philosophy is and kind of what we're all about, because I think that'll help make relevant the things that we're providing to our partners. And so the first thing, we're really about orchestration within the customer experience. So we are a tool provider. But we really want to be a sort of centerpiece and a facilitator of information, both gathering and distributing information throughout the entire customer lifecycle. And so we do provide tools for email marketing, marketing automation, CRM, conversations, chat, et cetera. But we really want to be the kind of centerpiece that orchestrates that customer experience for people. And another thing that's really important is we say at ActiveCampaign, we say we're all for small. And really what this means is we're designing tools that are easy to use. We're designing tools that are easy to implement and maintain. We offer them at a price point that makes them very valuable. And we employ business practices that make us really friendly to work with. And we found that larger customers are interested in these things too. But we really we have a lot of respect and admiration for small businesses and entrepreneurs, and we really want to make these powerful tools available to businesses of all sizes. And we don't think you have to be a big company or have a big marketing team to be able to have a really sophisticated strategy. Even though we're an automation company, we don't think you should try to automate everything. We suggest that you use tools to supplement people and to maximize their abilities. So I always say, like, you should automate everything you can so that humans can focus on the things that only humans can do, which is deliver really high touch, really personalized experiences and interactions with customers. Just a quick question. How many people in this room use only one software tool to run their company? So, for this reason, we actually really think that the idea of like all-in-one software is really kind of like becoming a thing of the past. We are really focused on best of breed. We're focused on doing what we do and doing it exceptionally well, and making it really easy to integrate with us, so that as your business changes, you have the ability to change things in and out. This is something that I think is really important for businesses as they grow, and we want to make sure that we're a facilitator of growth and not an inhibitor to growth. And so for this reason, we really focus on trying to be the best and not trying to be everything for everybody. And we're seeing this play out within our customer base. So of our 70,000 customers, 75% of them have an active integration with ActiveCampaign. And so we're seeing this really come to life. And we do a lot of work with Zapier, companies like PieSync and others, to make integration really easily accessible to our customers. And so this kind of leads us to what do we do to empower our partners with these things? And so ActiveCampaign is a really, really powerful platform. We can automate a lot of things within a business. This is a core strength of us and of our offering, but it's also one of the things that makes it a little bit scary, right? Because if you give this over to someone without any sort of perspective on what should I do first, it can be a little intimidating, and you can potentially go down the wrong path. And so we're trying to make things available to avoid that. And so a few things that we provide recipes, we provide the ability to take snapshots, and we provide context on stacks for different use cases. And so we're going to spend a little bit of time on each of those things. But what this kind of leads to is our customers are finding value, and they're reporting, time to ROI over twice as fast as with any of our direct competitors. And so, giving our customers and our partners the ability to get up and running quickly in a manner that's really valuable to them is really paying off. So the first thing is recipes. And so if you think about it this way, basic automation would be something like a welcome series. And so you may have a variation of a welcome series. Some businesses might want to wait, longer in between steps, or they may want to send, an SMS message versus an email at certain points within that process. But the fundamental, like, hey, you just signed up on our website, and we want to start sending you messages is similar. And so we'll provide context, we'll provide some basic recipes that people can use, and these automations can be shared really easily. So with something as simple as a link, you can share that with a different account. And you can imagine as a partner, if you build your own IP within our platform, you can share those links between accounts that you potentially work with as well, to add value to the people that you're working with. The next thing is snapshots. And so you can imagine as an implementer, right? Because some of our partners are implementers or value add partners. If your sort of niche is working with personal trainers, right? You may have an account or a setup of an account that includes some of those recipes. It may include sets of custom fields and different things that are specific to that industry. And you don't necessarily want to re-implement that every single time you distribute an application to one of those people. And so with snapshots, we give our partners the ability to basically take a snapshot of an account that's fully customized to a particular industry or use case, and then redeploy that as you acquire more customers, saving you setup time and lowering your margins to actually deliver that to the customers. And then the other thing is this concept of stacks. And so we believe in this sort of best of breed concept. And so one of the things that we've been doing is putting together a perspective on various use cases. That could be by industry or by tool set. And so we're making recommendations of, hey, if you are an e-commerce business, here's a set of tools that you can use that integrate really seamlessly with ActiveCampaign, so that you have that kind of full use case available to you. And so if you're an agency that does, one particular part of the customer process, whether that's SEO or website development or whatever the case may be, we can give you a recommendation of like, here's how you build out the rest of a solution for a small business or a business owner, to make that a little more comprehensive. And so we'll go through an example of what this looks like in just a minute. But the other thing that we do is we take this a little bit further as well, which is a lot of these other companies, as you all know, have different partner programs and things available to them as well. And so we will actually research these things to figure out what the different partner programs look like and help our partners actually figure out how to build and package and monetize an offering to go after a particular part of the market. And so this isn't meant to be like a one-size-fits-all. It's really a launch point to say like, hey, if we want to go after a particular industry, we have a point of view on what like the core offering might look like, and then our partners can take that and put their own spin or their own sort of take on it. And so an example of people that we work with would be marketing agencies, right? So anybody who's delivering value-add services who want to get into actually delivering some of the tool sets as well. Those would be a good example of people that we work with. And industry-specific solution providers, which is the example that we'll go through in just a second. But these are examples of people that we work with, in addition to some of the strategic partnerships that we're looking to develop as well. So the organization that I'll share a little bit about, the company's called iFuse. They're a marketing agency, and they had an idea of saying, hey, we want to go after contractors. We believe there's a big opportunity to go after this market, and so we worked with them to say, okay, what are the problems that these people want to solve, right? And what are the challenges they're facing? How can we put together a solution that will help you go to market and go after this particular industry using ActiveCampaign as sort of the centerpiece of this offering? And so we worked with them to come up with a field service application that would integrate with ActiveCampaign, a calendaring tool, integration platforms, landing page platforms, so that they built this full customized solution specific to this industry. And they believe that there are 50,000 potential targets for this solution. And so now they've developed this whole niche offering that they can market and advertise around and go try to capture this business. And this is really exciting. And so I think that's wanted to just highlight an example of taking the sort of core concept of a basic sort of stacked application and making it very specific to one of our partner use cases. Now, the interesting thing is not all of you are probably agencies or industry-specific software providers, but most of you probably have tools. And so if you look at this and think like, hey, we solve a particular need that could be related to, or driven by marketing or automation in some way, that could be a potential extension off of this. That's where I think there's a lot of interesting opportunities to be a potential integration partner to help drive some of these or be a part of some of these stacks that our partners are building. And so a few things that we're focused on as we continue to move forward into the future is we are always trying to simplify the path to integration with ActiveCampaign, making it easier for other tools to integrate with us so that we can continue to expand the ecosystem that works with us well. We want to continue to provide more and more resources to partners, so it's really exciting to have an opportunity to learn from so many great people who are involved with the development of partnerships in terms of how you're building out and resourcing the partner relationships that you all have. And I think one of the next big initiatives for us, in addition to expanding our channel programs, is really getting more and more into the strategic partnerships arena, which these last couple of days have been a really great step in that direction. And so that's the content that we have prepared. I don't know if there are any questions, but just again would like to say thank you for your time and for being here.
Any questions? Nope.
I understand that you're integrating all these various applications, but what's the actual interface that the end user interacts with? I mean, for example, you've got PayPal, so presumably somebody can go and access a PayPal payment, but do we have control? Are you integrated into a website, or what's the user interface to the dashboard, or do you understand the question?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, I think it depends. Are you talking about like end as a consumer, somebody who would be receiving messages, or as a potential user?
Is it always messages out? Is it messaging out?
It certainly can be, but I think internal processes as well. So if you think about, it could be anything from a payment coming in and knowing that, and then how would you want to react to that? It could be an internal process, so it could be sending a task or a notification internally, or assigning someone a follow-up. There are a number of different actions that you could take as a result of information or behaviors that people are taking related to their experience with you. So it could be site traffic. If they're interacting with a particular page that you have, you can use that as a trigger to take a particular action, messaging or sort of procedural. Is that helpful?
Well, it's helpful. It would have been useful to see, you have all these customers, a single snapshot of
Sure.
what they were getting.
Yeah, that's a good
Because
note.
it's almost like there's a dashboard and then there's an outbound communication.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think the interface for the customer, it depends on where they're interacting with your brand. And I think the other part of that too is for a user of ActiveCampaign, it could either be in the platform or it could be that ActiveCampaign is just consuming information that's being pulled from other platforms and then taking action based off of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question is related to that one. So are your customer is iFuse, is that your customer or their customer is your customer? If a contractor with iFuse signs up to use this, are they logging into iFuse and are they going to ifuse.com/automation? I guess that's the question that he was asking.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, that depends on the relationship as well. So we do have partners who would resell ActiveCampaign as ActiveCampaign. So and we have others who it's fully embedded into their solution, and you never know that you're using it. So it all depends on kind of the billing relationship, which is driven by the type of partnership that you have with us. So it could be either.
Who provides support to those?
Again, it depends. It depends on the nature of the relationship. So, we have affiliate programs available where, you could just refer someone and they would go through our standard sales process. They'd be supported by us. If you're a reseller that is fully white labeling ActiveCampaign, you probably don't want us to support them because chances are, if you've made that decision, you don't want them to know that you're using someone else's tool. And so it all depends on sort of the nature of the relationship.
Is it iFuse or Fuse-I?
iFuse.
iFuse.
Yeah.
When you're going out to somebody like iFuse and you're putting a stack as you talk together that's specific to what they're doing, are you targeting that stack and then approaching the potential reseller, or are you doing discovery with that reseller to figure out what they're doing and then putting the stack together?
Good question. Both in some cases, right? I think we've used that as both a sort of consultative strategy of someone who wants to do more with us, and we've also used that as a prospecting strategy as well.
You're getting your Fitbit stuff, so. It's related to that. So, going back to iFuse, you had 4 other partners. How do you find those partners, and how do you decide not to build one of those solutions?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think that gets into just kind of roadmap and product strategy in general. I think we really do try to live the idea of we aren't trying to be everything. So we're going to pick our core product offerings and we're going to build those and we're going to try to do those as best we can. But we're not going to try and do everything. And so I think from a product standpoint, we're going to develop things that we believe are core differentiators for us in the market where we think we have a competitive advantage. And aside from that, I think we look at things that are available to us, whether that's through a partner like PieSync or Zapier, where that integration is available, or if we have a deep data, like a native integration with that tool, then those are the things that we'll recommend first. And then we'll pursue integration partnerships where we feel like we can fill a gap within our approach or within our go-to-market strategy.
Probably I guess the main question is how do you structure your team? But then I'd love to hear, do you verticalize your partner salespeople kind of as we talked about, or is everybody more of a partner specialist that will tailor something to who they're talking to?
Yeah, so we have our strategic partnership effort primarily lives within marketing, but everybody, as you all know, everybody kind of has a hand in execution on those. From a channel partner standpoint, we have a partner recruiting team, and we also have account managers, in addition to some specific like success and marketing resources that align to the partner team. But we have a small but mighty account management team that works with our channel, where they're focused on sort of one-to-many education enablement, what's going on, doing more like broadcast style messaging, and then picking their spots to do more strategic or in-depth engagements where it's appropriate to do so.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Regarding these pre-built stacks, where do they live? Do they live on your marketplace? How do partner customers find them?
Yeah, in the marketplace, and then we actually also have a portal available to our partners as well, where we provide a ton of enablement resources, educational materials, and access to be able to manage the accounts that they have under them, because our resellers are truly buying and reselling, and so they own the accounts, and so we have a reseller portal available where they can actually go in and like manage the accounts that are under them, and that's where you would access that material, is within that portal.
And I presume these pre-built stacks are providing lead generation or lead flow to other apps. Are you monetizing that at all?
We aren't really. I mean, I think it's something that we could probably do. I think we do want to try to stay altruistic in some of those areas, and really try to put ourselves in a position where we are letting customers make the best decision for them and not steering them towards something because it's good for us. And so we haven't really gone down that route. I think where we would potentially develop really strong conviction about a partnership or about a tool being the right tool, I think we would potentially explore that, but we haven't really yet.
Isn't that the concept, though, of the pre-built stack, that you've figured out best of breed for certain partners, and that's why you don't?
Yeah, it's a fair point. I think but it's all, everybody's got their own sort of preference, right? And I think whether, if you're using, Calendly was one of the examples, right? Like there's Calendly and Mixmax and a bunch of other, scheduling tools available. And if a user has preference on that, like we don't necessarily want to steer them towards one or the other. We really want to give them choice and empower them to make the decision that's right for their business.
Adam, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Thank you.